Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss is how the cells, how do you think, what do you think hold our cells together? How do they communicate and stay connected to form tissue? The answer lies in uh, something that is called as cell junction. Now, what is cell junction? Cell junction, they are connection between the neighboring cells or between cell and extracellular matrix. So these junctions are also known as membrane junction. So when we talk about the connection between two cells, we refer them as intercellular junction. Now the cell junctions, they are categorized into three types. The first is occluding junctions, second is communicating junctions, and third is the anchoring junctions. The first is the occluding junction. The other name of occluding junction is a tight junction. So what are these tight junctions? So these are the junctions that are present between the intercellular exchange of substance. Essentially, they act as a seal that prevents the molecules and ions from passing freely between the cells. So tight junction, other name of what is the other name of tight junction? It is also known as zona occludens. Remember, it is also known as zona occludens. So suppose these are the two cells, cell number 1 and cell number 2. So these are the tight junctions that prevent the passage of large molecules. So they are located at the apical margin of epithelial and endothelial cells. Areas like intestinal mucosa, renal tubular walls, capillary walls, and choroid plexus. So why do you think it is important to prevent the free passage of substance in these areas? So it is about maintaining a controlled environment, regulating what enters and exits the tissue. So that is vital for functioning like absorption in the intestinal and filtration in the kidney. Now, in the tight junctions, there are integral membrane proteins. What are those proteins? So these proteins are known as claudin, junctional adhesion molecule. So these proteins will hold themselves into strand of the ridge and attached to the neighboring cells, attached on the neighboring cells to hold them together tightly. Apart from that, there are scaffold proteins like singulin, simplexin, etc. So why it is important to have these scaffold proteins? What is the function? They help to maintain the integrity of this junction under the stress or mechanical forces. Now, what is the function of tight junction? First is the strength and stability. Tight junction, they provide structural support by holding the neighboring cells together. That is essential for integrity of the tissue. Tight junction act as a selective barrier for small molecules. They allow selective permeability, but they form a complex barrier for larger molecules. So this function is also known as the gate function. So why it is known as gate function? As it regulates the passage of ions, water, and macromolecules between the cell. Apart from that, tight junction also act as a fencing function. So they act as a fence, they prevent the movement of proteins and lipids within the cell membrane. So other function is maintenance of cell polarity and blood-brain barrier. So one of the main critical role of tight junction is forming the blood-brain barrier in the brain capillaries. So this barrier would prevent many substances from entering the brain tissue from the capillary blood. So only the lipid soluble substance like certain drugs and steroids hormone can pass through this barrier. So why do we need such protective barrier around the brain? We know brain is our control center and we must protect it from potential harmful substances circulating in the blood. So the tight junction helps to maintain tissue integrity, protect vital organs like the brain. The next is the gap junction. Gap junction are also known as nexus. So they are the structures that allows ions and small molecules to pass directly from one cell to the other cell. So they are found in tissues where cells need to communicate with each other, such as in the heart and in the basal portion of the epithelial cells of intestinal mucosa. So remember, they are form of uh, they have a special channels that are known as connection. So each channel it is composed of two half, one from each cell. So these half align to create a complete channel connecting the cytoplasm of the both the cell. So each half channel is known as connection. It is composed of 6 protein subunit that is known as connexin. So what the protein do is it forms a circular channel that allows the molecules to move directly from one cell to other without coming into contact with the extracellular fluid. So the diameter of gap junction channel is about 1.5 to 3 nanometer that allows the passage of small molecules like the glucose, amino acid, ions and other substance the, with the molecular weight less than 1000. So with the gap junction there is rapid propagation of the action potential. So gap junction they allow the rapid spread of electrical signals from one cell to another. The third are the anchoring junctions. Anchoring junctions they provide stability to tissue by firmly attaching cell to each other or to the matrix, that is the extracellular matrix. Anchoring junctions they can connect either to actin filament or to the intermediate filament inside the cell, and we classify them into 4 types. Actin filament attachment, uh, they are the example is the adherent junction that connects cell to cell, or focal adhesion that connects cell to the matrix. The other is the intermediate filament attachment that connects the desmosomes that connects cell to cell, and hemidesmosomes that connects the cell to the matrix. Now coming with the adherent junctions, so these are cell to cell connection that connect the actin filament of one cell to those of another cell. So they are present in the epithelial lining. So in the epithelial lining, these junctions form a continuous adhesion belt just below the tight junction and are known as zona adherents. So these are held together by transmembrane protein that is known as adherents. So why do you think it is important for the epithelial cells to be held together so tightly? To maintain barrier and to restrict mechanical stresses. So these junctions are especially important in intercalated disc between the branch of cardiac muscle, where they hold the muscle fibers together during the contraction and relaxation of the heart. Other are the focal adhesion. These are the cell to matrix junction. So they connect a cell to the matrix, which connect the actin filament of cell to the extracellular matrix. So in the epithelial, they are found in the epithelial of various organs. These junction link with the cell with their basal lamina. The protein responsible for holding the cell membrane to the matrix is the integrin protein. Next are the desmosomes. Desmosomes are another type of anchoring junctions. They are cell to cell junctions that connect the intermediate filament of one cell to those of other. So these junctions are also known as macula adherens. The structure of desmosomes. Within these patches, intermediate filaments are attached to thread region. Some filament run parallel to the cell membrane while others are arranged in a radiating pattern. The transmembrane protein that is involved in desmosomes, they are primarily the cadherins that are responsible for holding the cell together. So where might we find desmosomes in the body and why they are important there? Desmosomes, they are abundant in tissue like the skin and heart, where they help to resist mechanical forces by holding the cell together. Now coming to the hemodesmosomes. The hemidesmosomes are type of cell to matrix junction. Unlike the desmosomes which connect two cells, hemidesmosomes connect a cell to the extracellular matrix, particularly to the basal lamina. So hemidesmosomes looks like a desmosomes. The thickening membrane occur only on the side of cell that is attached to the matrix. So because of this unique structure, hemidesmosomes, they are also known as half desmosomes. So why it is important for cells to anchor to the basal lamina? Yes, the encourage help to maintain the structural integrity of epithelial cells and ensure proper tissue function. Mutation in the cadherins and integrins. Adherins are found in the adherent junction, and desmosomes and integrins, they are found in tissue focal adhesions and hemidesmosomes. So loss of proper cell adhesion allows cancer cell to spread from their primary site to other part of body. So bullous pemphigoid, it is an autoimmune disease where antibody develops against the cadherins in the desmosomes and integrins in the hemidesmosomes. So that results in weaker attachment between the epithelial cells that lead to blistering eruptions on the skin. Other are the cell adhesion molecules. They are the proteins located on the cell surface, playing an important role in binding of cells to the neighboring cells of or to the basal lamina. So type of cell adhesion molecules, they are cadherins. Cadherins are the all the cell adhesion molecules that form molecular connection between the neighboring cells. So they play important role in forming adhering junctions and desmosomes providing cell to cell adhesions. Other are integrins. So these connect cell to the extracellular matrix forming focal adhesions and hemidesmosomes.